Brent.
What's up? How's it going?
Hey,
Thanks
man.
for having me on.
No problem. Thanks for joining us. Wanted to talk a little football. We've been talking baseball and softball all morning, so I wanted to get a little football in here. Tell us about your current job and what your job entails with the Colts.
I'm working in the scouting department with the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm just getting started out, so I do a little bit of both college scouting and pro scouting. So the college scouting, I'll go out and visit some colleges and check out their prospects for the upcoming draft. And then the pro scouting will look at, NFL players, other NFL teams, and try and get a catalog of players to, bring in for workouts and look at in free agency in the upcoming year.
Now, being that you were a quarterback in high school and college, is that sort of your area of expertise in terms of scouting, or are you looking for basically any different position you can find somebody good at?
No, I look at every position. Obviously, it's a little bit easier for me to evaluate quarterbacks than some other positions, but I've tried to look at every position and kind of get a background and a feel for all those positions, and I think I've grown a lot in the past year and learned a lot about, I guess offensive and defensive line were probably the two positions that I knew the least about as a quarterback, but I've learned a lot in the past year, and I've kind of grown and learned how to evaluate those positions. So you gotta know every position. You gotta be able to evaluate any position at any time.
I'm sure you could pick out some defensive linemen like, hey, I wouldn't want that guy coming after me.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that job come about? Did you know somebody with the Colts organization?
Yeah, so my offensive coordinator and quarterback coach in college, a guy named Kevin Rogers, his son is the director of pro personnel with the Colts, so that was my connection out here. And after I graduated, I came out and I did an internship for a training camp in the summer, and they didn't have a full-time position available after that, so I went and I was working outside of D.C. with my business degree from William&Mary, and I got a call from my coach. He said they have something full-time, reach out to his son. I reached out, and they flew me out here for interviews, and I ended up getting the job, so it all worked out in the end. Very excited to be here with a great organization.
Was this something you wanted to get into in terms of working with a professional football team, or did you have other aspirations when you graduated from William&Mary?
I thought about coaching for a little while, but I wanted to get into the personnel side of things. I had actually, back in college, I had talked with Terry Bradway, who's with the Jets and now with the Dolphins. His kids all played at Mainland. He's a South Jersey guy, and obviously his son Mike is with the Eagles, is their assistant director of college scouting. So he's been a resource for me, and he kind of showed me the ropes a little bit, I guess you could say. And I expressed to my college coach that this is what I wanted to do, and this is the path I wanted to go. And they've helped me out a great deal.
So I'm sure this will give you some bragging rights at the 10-year reunion in a few years.
I hope so.
What's the toughest part about your job? I'm sure there's a lot of pressure involved. I mean, you're one of the guys out there looking for players, and every NFL team wants to find the best players. There's got to be a little bit of a level of pressure you got to deal with in terms of a job like that. Yeah,
absolutely, and especially coming off a season like we had last year where we went 8-8 when the expectation kind of was get to the Super Bowl when we were so close the year before. We lost in the AFC Championship to New England. So there was a lot of expectations last year, and we obviously didn't meet those expectations. So that puts pressure on everybody in the offseason to, kind of rebuild through the draft, especially the way our roster's shaken up is, we have a ton of money invested in our quarterback, Andrew Luck, now, and that puts even more pressure on the scouts to try and evaluate guys and build through the draft, because we're not going to have the money to go out in free agency and throw at guys. So there's definitely some pressure. There's long days, once the season rolls around, it's 7 days a week, long hours, but every day I wake up and enjoy what I do. So I tell my parents all the time, it's not really work. It's enjoyable. It's a fun job. So, I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing.
We're talking with Brent Caprio, former Mainland Regional star quarterback, also played at William&Mary. He's now in the scouting department of the Indianapolis Colts. Brent, have you gotten a chance to see Andrew Luck up close in terms of a workout or playing in games?
I have, yeah. I'm out at practice most days, and because of my background, I'm usually evaluating within our organization one of the offensive skill positions: quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends. So I get to see Andrew up close and personal. He's an awesome guy, and everything they crack him up to be. He's smart. The players love him. So he's a great leader.
How much different is it seeing a guy like that up close, who's such a star in the NFL? I mean, obviously, we watch him on TV. High school guys around here, college guys, coaches. We all see what he does on TV. How much different is it when you're up close and personal, watching him throw the ball and make the reads and all that kind of stuff?
Hey, it's pretty cool. It's surreal at first, but you start to realize, and I tell guys that I've played with at William&Mary that are now in the NFL, football is football, no matter what level it is. Once you've been around it a little bit, the game kind of slows down a little bit. And, it's football. It's exactly what I did in high school and college, and it's cool. It's cool, but eventually that that hype kind of wears off, and it's just, you get down to the nitty-gritty of it's still football at this level.
I remember my brother one time talked to a professional coach in baseball, and he asked the guy, what separates the major league talent from, say, a AA or a AAA guy? And this coach said arm strength. Every guy in the Major League Baseball, no matter what position, has incredible arm strength. What is it about football that separates a really good quarterback from, say, a very good college quarterback that maybe doesn't make it in the pros? From your point of view, what separates guys like Andrew Luck, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers? What is it about these guys that makes them so good at the pro level, as opposed to somebody who had a real good college career but maybe just can't make an NFL roster?
I think the biggest thing with, obviously, these guys are all freaks as far as from a physical standpoint. They're all 6'3", 6'4" guys, 230, 240 pounds, but they have the physical tools. But I think the other thing is their mental capability. They're able to see coverages and digest things quickly, and get through reads and make quick decisions. And I think the decision making to go along with the physical tools that all those guys have is probably the biggest thing. The leadership, the intangibles that they have is what separates them from some of these college quarterbacks that kind of fizzle out once they get into the NFL.
Well, it's like they always say, you can't put in what God left out, right? You're either 6'3", 240, or you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking with Brent Caprio, former Mainland star, who's now working with the Indianapolis Colts. Brent, real quick, got a couple of minutes left here. Wanted to get some of your thoughts on high school football as we have that rolling around here in the next few weeks. What do you remember about your time at Mainland, and what was the coolest thing about playing high school football?
Just the camaraderie with my teammates. A lot of the guys that I graduated with in 2009. We had that great season in 2008. We're all still best friends. When we see each other when we're home, it's like we never left each other. We don't miss a beat. The friendships that you make that will last your life, I think that's the best thing about high school football. You can't ever replace the feeling of the Friday night lights. It's one of the greatest things in the world, and I'm excited. I still have a great relationship with all the coaches that coached me at Mainland. I was sad to see Coach Coffey go. He obviously had a great career at Mainland, and I'm excited for Coach Chuck Smith, who's taken over for Mainland. So I'm excited to see what's in store for Mainland this year.
You ever find yourself sitting around on a Friday night around 7 o'clock and thinking, man, those are some good times?
Oh yeah. If I could go back and play in a couple more high school games, I think I absolutely would. It was, some of the best years of my life, and it goes by quickly. I can't believe that it's been, almost 8 years since my last season in high school. But I stay in touch with all those guys that I graduated with, and we, share stories every time we get together when we're back home.
Wait till you get to my age. I was playing high school baseball before the internet was invented. So it definitely does go by quick, man.
It does. I can't believe it, but some great memories that I'll cherish forever. So it was fun to be a part of that.
Good stuff, Brent. We're up against the break, but definitely appreciate you calling in, and it's great to talk to you. Continued success with the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Have a good weekend.
All right. Take care. Bye.
That was Brent Caprio. Really appreciate him calling in from out there in Indianapolis. He's working with the Colts now in their scouting department.